there's a whole bunch of rumors about COVID-19, a whole conspiracy theory, and a lot of confirmations of conspiracy theories. Well, I do want to dispel, you know, just, you know, a whole bunch of information. A lot of the churches are saying that the congregations are being removed because of some satanic conspiracy. That is called desperation. When you are in a pandemic, it's kind of desperate to blame your own enemy. And if you want to read a gospel, sure. But if you really want to say that, oh, we can't congregate because of something in the gospel, then that's called delusional. That's called being a little crazy. Here in America, the COVID-19 has reached 500,000 right now at Easter weekend. And so it's kind of really dangerous. It's really hard to explain, but it's kind of bad what's really going on. And it's only going to get worse. And I wanted to dispel the whole satanic conspiracy about this COVID-19 because my great-grandfather actually was a third-degree Freemason, and above, even. And coming from that testimonial, I'll just say that the Freemasons have their own Bible that is way longer than the Holy Bible, and actually all the information in the Holy Bible is actually just cherry pickings from the Freemasonic Bible. They don't believe in the devil. And I wanted to dispel another thing that is more popular than the whole Satan thing. COVID-19 being Satan thing, which is actually from a different church. It's actually an underrated opinion, but the most popular opinion is that COVID-19 is one of the 10 plagues of God. Just like Egypt is happening again, Revelations and all that. More like Exodus, but yeah. Is that this COVID-19 is the plague of God. That really does make sense, because people who control the world want some sort of economic crisis, and the whole idea of the devil was created to control what good meant. If you have family members that don't like swearing and just teaching their young not to masturbate, that is exactly what they want. You know, like I said, older people manipulating the younger generations. That is what is in place right now on Easter weekend. The whole pagan origination of every single Christian holiday is going to start into fruition. A lot of these kids will start rebelling, listening to Nirvana, and start realizing that a lot of the things that they were taught in Bible school is just a way to shut people up about what is really the truth. Because if you are told the truth, you're never going to look for the truth. You're never going to find your own truth. You're never going to find your higher self. And that is why I don't like conspirators either. Most of them, because it is actually intentionally misinformation. The whole thing about the government being controlled by an elite satanic community is completely false, because if you actually do your research, Anton LaVey, his cult of the Church of Satan was just only one house. I mean, look up how big the house was. It's not that bigger than a mobile home. You know, it's actually smaller. It's like half the size of a mobile home, but like on 2 stories. And it looked like Stuart Little's house. I mean, like, if any of that is true, then how did he get everybody in the government at that time, in the 1960s, 70s, whatever, into one building? How did he get every single politician into one building? That is why fact-checking is actually more important than a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things. A lot of people just want to sit down and play video games, or sit down and look up at all the conspiracy theories and completely cherry-pick. If you actually, like, most conspirators don't believe in the same thing. They believe in the same concepts, but if they all believed in the same thing, it wouldn't make sense. Because, again, every single conspirator cherry picks what they think is true. So that is why fact-checking is important. Because there is no satanic cabal out there. In fact, if you actually bother to do this yourself, communicate with the spirits of witchcraft. the spirits of magic, or get into demonology, demons, fairies, dragons, all of them will say they're against the Illuminati. They're against the whole idea. They're against White Sot. They're against this. They're against Illuminati control. And even the demons want to free mankind. Especially the dragons. A lot of the dragons are wanting to free mankind from its own enslavement and going back on it. The Holy Bible was written by Freemasons, cherry-picking from an even larger Bible. And even if you think about it, Jesus got people convinced that he was the Son of God. But if anybody has the power of magic, that you can convince someone that you're a god. I mean, why else would the sculpture of Jesus at the Vatican make him look like a freaking necromancer? A necromancer rising many dead behind him. I mean, like, there's only one true explanation among many, but you can believe whatever you want. The Christians say they are ultimate good, but it's completely hypocritical because a lot of families think it's good to teach your kids Bible studies, stuff like that. But again, at the same time, you're telling them to believe in as you do, or they will burn for all eternity, which is child abuse. If you tell them that there is child abuse, they will call you a blasphemer. So they are already triggered to attack people that have different types of mentality. I mean, like, even in Hades, which was the original idea of hell before hell became a bad thing, Hades was the underworld of goetic witchcraft. It was the underworld of magic. And Valhalla was the ceremonial afterlife of all the Viking heroes. Why did both of these concepts get combined into the Christian hell? And to dispel the rumor that all witchcraft is kind of satanic, there's many ways of looking at that one, but there's a really solid history of witchcraft and the devil, from the Inquisition, mostly, from the Salem witch trials. So when you realize there's a whole bunch of dark spirits, dark crows, and stuff like that, crow spirits, and demons, and angels, and all that, earth creatures, fairies, fae, dragons, like, no shit, bro. I mean, like, I'm sorry if I sometimes misinform your uninformed ass, but yeah, it's obvious.